Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're unpacking what I think is one of the most fascinating, mind-bending contradictions in modern sports. I mean, when you hear the name Real Madrid, what immediately pops into your head? Decades of Galácticos, the most iconic stadium in European football, and of course, a legacy built on winning, highlighted by an absolutely astonishing 15 Champions League titles. The name alone carries this immense, undeniable weight. But today, we're going to explore a very different kind of reality at the club right now. One that is football fans and financial analysts all over the world talking.
So, Forbes just recently released their latest rankings of the world's most valuable football clubs, and sitting entirely in a league of its own, right at the very top is Real Madrid, with a jaw-dropping valuation of $9.5 billion. Take a second and just let that number sink in. We're talking about a football club whose valuation is literally larger than the gross domestic product of several small nations. They are, without a shadow of a doubt, the most valuable football club on the planet.
But here is the massive contradiction driving our whole explainer today. How does the most expensive, most highly valued club in the world go 2 straight seasons without lifting a single major trophy? It's a glaring disconnect. A $9.5 billion empire with an absolutely empty trophy cabinet over a 2-year stretch. It honestly challenges everything we think we know about the relationship between huge money and immediate success in sports.
Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1, the $9.5 billion paradox.
Real Madrid isn't just leading the pack here. Actually, scratch that. They are completely financially dominating it. Sitting at $9.5 billion, they're a full $2 billion ahead of their fiercest rivals, Barcelona, and sitting well clear of Manchester United. When you're the undisputed financial king in a top-tier list dominated by just a few elite European leagues, it sets up the ultimate paradox when your on-field results just don't match the bank accounts.
Section 2. Building a global empire.
Well, to understand this massive financial lead, we have to recognize that modern elite clubs are no longer just weekend football teams, right? They're global entertainment brands. The €1.5 billion renovation of the Santiago Bernabeu wasn't just to put in some nicer seats for the fans. With a retractable pitch and a fully covered roof, it transforms into a world-class venue for massive concerts, boxing, and even NFL games. The club is no longer relying on a handful of home games a month. This infrastructure is a 365-day-a-year cash engine.
And you know, the stadium is really just one piece of the giant puzzle. Their commercial portfolio is that of a multi-billion-dollar global brand. We're talking incredibly lucrative shirt and kit deals with Emirates and Adidas, combined with huge merchandise sales driven by absolute superstars like Kylian Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. This keeps the cash registers ringing from Madrid to Mumbai. Add in media rights from consistent Champions League participation and a staggering global fan base of 500 million supporters, and you have a financial fortress that is practically bulletproof.
Which brings us to Section 3, the missing silverware.
For a club like Real Madrid, the baseline expectation is never just to turn a massive profit or host a great concert. It's to win every single season. So here we have this stark juxtaposition. On one side, you've got a $9.5 billion valuation and a legendary legacy of 15 Champions League titles. On the other side, the current football reality of 2 full seasons with 0 major trophies. You literally have a club with the GDP of a small nation occasionally struggling to outplay a mid-table squad on a Sunday. The sporting output is currently drastically lagging behind the commercial output, and that's creating an intensely frustrating reality at the Bernabeu.
So, what exactly is going wrong on the pitch? The drought isn't a mystery. It's really the result of compounding issues. The squad has been going through a very significant transition. We saw the delayed and, honestly, somewhat bumpy integration of Kylian Mbappe. I mean, this was one of the most anticipated signings in history, and it simply didn't yield the immediate magic a lot of people expected. Add to that key injuries at the absolute worst possible moments, tactical inconsistencies, where the team just looked totally uncertain of its own identity, and, of course, relentless pressure from a Barcelona side that aggressively capitalized on Madrid's growing pains in La Liga.
This brings us to a really vital question, and it's one that fans and pundits are debating every single day. I want you to think about this as we look at the facts. Is this 2-year drought just a temporary blip for a club in transition, or is it the beginning of something much more concerning? Are they losing their sporting edge in the pursuit of becoming an entertainment monopoly?
Section 4, the road back.
To answer that, we've got to look ahead. The huge optimism among the fan base and President Florentino Perez stems directly from the elite talent they've secured. While Mbappe's first season wasn't exactly a flawless fairy tale, we have to remember he is still only in his mid-20s. He's actively adapting to a new league, a demanding new system, and totally new teammates. And alongside him is Vinicius Jr., who remains one of the most electrifying and dangerous attackers in world football. The club firmly believes that when these two finally click and start playing with freedom, there are very, very few defenses in Europe equipped to survive them.
And you know that on-pitch potential is backed by this unshakable corporate confidence. Madrid's financial foundation is stronger than ever. The football club officials insist will follow. That quote perfectly captures the internal mindset at the Bernabeu right now. They believe their unmatched commercial power will continually fund the necessary resources, the squad strengthening, and the elite management required to guarantee a return to total dominance. They're banking on the fact that ultimate wealth will eventually buy ultimate success.
Let's move to Section 5, the modern football reality, and see how this builds.
Zooming out, Madrid's staggering wealth reveals something really profound about the entire global football ecosystem today. We are witnessing the rapid expansion of the wealth gap between the absolute elite and everyone else. Because clubs like Real Madrid have transformed into these global 365-day entertainment brands, the financial power concentrated at the very top is just staggering. The distance between them and mid-table sides, let alone lower league teams, is growing significantly wider every single year. They're essentially playing a completely different financial sport.
Now, governing bodies have absolutely tried to step in. UEFA introduced financial fair play and various sustainability frameworks specifically designed to level this playing field. However, critics argue heavily that these regulations have fundamentally failed in their primary goal. Despite the rules, the valuations of the elite clubs continue to climb exponentially, and the financial power remains heavily concentrated at the very top. The rich, quite simply, are continuing to get much richer.
Which leaves us with this final, lingering thought to wrap up our explainer today. As these valuations near $10 billion, but the trophies don't always follow the money right away, we really have to ask, is football still a sport, driven by the unpredictability and romance of competition? Or at the highest levels, has it become purely a financial product, where clubs are basically just entertainment franchises? It's a huge paradox that really defines the modern game. Thank you so much for joining me to unpack this fascinating topic today. Keep questioning the numbers, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.